Today we crown a MAAC water polo champion. The dominant, dynastic Wagner Seahawks seek their 9th title in the last 12 years, facing an upset-minded Marist team powered by home pool advantage. Greetings from inside McCann Natatorium. I'm Jeff Brault alongside Shannon Ventry. Shannon, this is a matchup of the tournament's top 2 seeds. Wagner has owned the head-to-head, winning 19 straight against the Red Foxes. But like we saw last year, anything can happen in a final.
Of course, it's why you play the game any given Sunday. These two teams are no stranger to the MAAC title game. Every conference championship has featured either one of these teams.
Let's meet our star players, beginning with Wagner center Andrea Arias, a force on both ends of the pool.
How will Marist stop Andrea Arias? She was dominant when the two teams met in the regular season, tallying 7 of the Seahawks' 11 in the win. And yesterday, in the semifinal win, she poured in another 5.
Marist Paige Nagel was snubbed from the All-MAAC teams and played with a chip on her shoulder in yesterday's semifinal.
She certainly did. She showed the entire conference and world why she's one of the top offensive powerhouses in the MAAC, putting on a clinic, 6 goals in yesterday's semifinal win.
It's Francesca Senna between the pipes for Wagner. The MAAC goalie of the year has accumulated more than 500 saves in her 2-year career down in Staten Island. Across the pool, Inez Sanchez, the Marist sophomore, made 9 saves against Wagner in the regular season. She will be tested against a offense featuring a ton of weapons. That's what Josh Howard deploys, the Wagner head coach, seeking his first title in the footsteps of his predecessors, Kieran Molahan and Chris Ridmanovich. Chris Vidal leading the Marist Red Foxes. A pregame chat with the commissioner, Travis Teletasi. He is looking for his first ever win over Wagner. A berth in Berkeley awaits. Back poolside in Poughkeepsie, the MAAC Championship about to get underway. The Wagner Seahawks in dark caps trimmed in white. The Marist Red Foxes in white, accented in red. We'll meet the starting field players for the Foxes. Talked about Paige Nagel at the top. Liana Hunt, Ella Baumgarten, the center, Rachel Dean, Kendall DeBeer, and Shanae Carrington join her. Across the pool, it's the MAAC's deepest and most talented starting lineup. Defensive Player of the Year, Pip Nash. Sophomore, Magali Og. Carlota Alonso, Casey Taylor. The center, Andrea Arias. And Swiss Army knife, Mar Navarro for the Seahawks. The game's opening sprint goes to the Foxes. Marist with the first possession, and we're underway in the title game. Shannon, we expect both teams to play an up-tempo, aggressive press defensively. Whichever team handles the opposition better will likely have the upper hand. Foxes try to center it up for Nagel, but it's off her fingertips. Marist squanders the first possession, and now what can Senna do on the counter? Wagner is deadly in transition. Taylor. Og. Taylor with a lane. The player Marist is daring to beat them. Nash. Wagner looks to their center, and it's well defended by Marist. Kendall DeBeer, the 2-meter defender for Chris Vidal. Challenged early and up to the task against Andrea Arias.
She got some help from her teammates. We know where they're going to crash that hole. There's so much respect for Andrea Arias. They're trying to get the ball not to go in her hands.
Wagner beat Marist in the regular season. 11-7 the final on March 16th at VMI. It was 6-3 Wagner at halftime, 9-4 Wagner after 3 quarters. A caveat, just a day before, Marist had landed in America after a spring break trip to Greece. Chris Vidal said, "It may not have been the best job of scheduling on my part," and he feels that if his team can play the way they did yesterday against Iona, they've got a great shot to score the upset.
We saw a complete game from Marist on that win against Iona, really anchored by their defense.
Ella Baumgarten directs it on goal and sneaks it past Senna. Marist strikes first.
And what a beautiful pass by the freshman DeBeer, right on the fingertips of Ella Baumgarten, who was backstroking her way. Beautiful redirection, had to go in that bottom corner, and it was perfectly placed.
Didn't get a lot on it, but got enough, and the Red Foxes have an early 1-goal lead. Wagner yesterday handled business against Mount St. Mary's in their semifinal. The Mountaineers gave him a test early. It was 6-5 late in the second quarter before Wagner scored the last 2 goals of the first half and the first 2 of the second half and sat on that lead the rest of the way. Wagner trying to force it to Arias. Again, De Beer able to slow her up. Baumgarten swims over. And once more, Marist 2-meter defense strong in front of Sanchez.
Yeah, the pass was just a little bit off the mark, and the Marist defense knew what it had to do in crashing that whole set.
Contra foul, and it leads to a counter-attacking opportunity. Arias swimming ahead of the field. Alonso sends it to her. She didn't know which hand it was going to. Sanchez swims out, but Arias recovers to tie the game.
Such a tough one to defend. You saw the two defensive Marist players closing in. What a quick finish. Popped it to her other hand and up and over.
Boy, Wagner nearly squandering a golden opportunity. Perhaps Sanchez a bit too aggressive, as Arias for a moment didn't know where the ball was. But boy, Andrea Arias, such a skilled scorer. As soon as she spotted the yellow ball in the pool, picked it up, flipped it in. And Wagner has answered Marist' opener. Here's Nagel looking for Baumgarten, and she's able to earn the exclusion. Grace Coleman off the Wagner bench is our first player kicked out in the championship. 6-on-5 for the Foxes. This is Liana Hunt, lefty on the 4-5 side. Up top, Kaylee Broad. Hunt's thinking about it. Broad at the point. Will Hunt launch on the third chance? Off to the left for Nagel, and it's blocked down in front. Field block for Wagner, but Marist will have another chance. Team's back at full strength. Nagel guarded by Magali Og.
We can see the physicality coming out to play already so early in this game.
Wagner's press forces the turnover. Andrea Arias deflects it to Casey Taylor. A 2-on-2 and a contra foul. Arias was swimming 1-on-1 against Sanchez. Taylor couldn't deliver the ball. Now the Marist counter. It starts with Nagel. Flip to center. They overshot. But a foul committed. An exclusion whistled. Magali Og out. 6-on-5 Marist.
Nagel really did a great job of getting in good position in front of the goal to be able to draw that kick out.
Hunt. Dean. Here's Nagel. Hard shot. It caroms in. Senna got a hand on it, but Paige Nagel powered it into the back of the net. Marist leads by 1.
Nagel is absolutely lethal from that wing position. She has such a hard shot. That's a difficult angle to make, but we've seen her make that shot time and time again.
7th goal of the championship for Paige Nagel, the sophomore from Newport Beach, California, who Chris Vidal says is probably his leading scorer. Marist notoriously does not keep a statistic sheet, but Chris said if he had to bet, he'd bet on Paige Nagel. Taylor to Arias, the backhand finds its way in off Sanchez. Both goalies getting to the ball, but can't keep it out. Second goal for Andrea Arias. We're level once more.
She got the ball exactly where she needed it to be. Berard was on the left shoulder, so she just whipped it around with the backhand on the right.
Berard will facilitate the Marist offense. That's great defending by Carlota Alonso, first-team All-MAAC, junior from Barcelona, Spain. Able to anticipate where that pass was going, get the steal, and now Wagner can counter. It's Mar Navarro. She can beach in so many ways. She rises up and hits the bar. Navarro didn't miss by much, calling her own number, as Marist fortunate to have possession in a tie ball game past the midway point of the first quarter. Take a look, Arias inches away from putting Wagner in front for the first time. Now Nagel with a great chance, and Paige Nagel scores again.
We said it earlier in the broadcast in our opening, Nagel's going to be playing this tournament with a chip on her shoulder, and she has done exactly that again from that wing position. She's so powerful. Went cross cage this time, powered it in.
Did a great job to earn the inside water against freshman Ana Arias, Andrea's younger sister, in off the bench. No chance for Senna, and Marist leads by 1. Every time they've gone in front, the Seahawks have had an answer. Shannon, a high-level opening quarter befitting a championship game.
Yes, this is what you were going to expect from both of these teams, especially the way Marist played yesterday.
Alonso at the point. Leila McCarroll in the pool wearing number 22 has the assignment on one of the best offensive players in the MAAC. Andrea Arias pushed away from goal, pressed by Kaylee Brard, who might be Marist's best defender. Lob shot kept out by Sanchez, timed it perfectly.
Fantastic save. Those lob shots can be so hard because they do have a bit of speed and power just because of the distance away from the goal. And Sanchez, again, like you said, timed it perfect.
Carrington trying to drop a dime inside to Tori Padilla, and Padilla earns a 5-meter for Marist.
That 5-meter shot does not come without that perfect pass.
All Shanae Carrington. Kaylee Brard will take the penalty. One-on-one with Senna. Marist goes up 2.
I love the selection of player to shoot the 5-meter shot. Not necessarily one of your top offensive powerhouses, but she was able to power that in, make good on all the defensive work she's been doing.
It was Ana Arias who committed the foul to allow the 5-meter. Marist giving Wagner a taste of their own medicine. They're typically the team that pours it on off the opening sprint. Alonso on the far post, and that's just an ordinary. 12 seconds left in this Wagner possession. The outlet for Mylan San Pedro Tarela, freshman from Barcelona, the nation of Spain, so good to the Wagner Seahawks. They've got 5 players from that country, including Mar Navarro, who's denied by the bar again.
Again, a game of inches. We've seen 2 center cage shots come from Mar Navarro, just slightly off, bar being unkind.
The momentum swinging Marist's way at the end of the first period. San Pedro Tarela defending. Here's Leila McCarroll on the near side, marked by Mar Navarro. Carrington up top and a contra foul. Alonso will swim to the near side of the pool. 2 defenders come, forces her to toss it back to Navarro. Trying to pick out a player swimming up pool. It's Casey Taylor, who had a goal in the semifinal yesterday. In fact, every Wagner starter struck at least once. Nash in space. Now Taylor off to the right. Defended by Rachel Dean. It's Nash who fires high.
Yeah, you know, it's coming down to follow through. You got to really snap that wrist, but they have so much respect for Sanchez in goal. They know that she's going to gobble up anything that's not perfectly placed in those top corners.
Wagner just 2 of 7 shooting here in the first quarter. Marist 4 of 5 when they hang on to the ball, but they commit another turnover, and the Seahawks have numbers. It's a 4-on-3 if they want to fly. Taylor drives it. They leave Taylor alone. Will she challenge Sanchez? Tossed a pass across to Arias, an ordinary committed, and that will allow the defense to set up. San Pedro Tarela. To the center for Arias, but before she catches the ball, a foul on Wagner. It's the Seahawks' turn for a giveaway. And now a press in the middle of the pool. Both of these teams so aggressive defensively. They each play an up-tempo style, and it's led to an entertaining first quarter. Less than a minute left in it. Lob towards center, beautifully defended by Casey Taylor. Read it the whole way. Carrington never had a chance.
No, you saw both of their arms go up, backstroking, constant moving, not getting caught with the hands down to cause an exclusion.
The first year, San Pedro Tarela will shoot, and it didn't have the angle. Sanchez there, able to use the post as an extra defender. And then a foul in front of goal. They got Arias on the offensive.
The execution of this defensive game plan for the Red Foxes is going exactly how called. They will take those outside shots all day with a goalie like Sanchez in there. They do not want the ball to go into center, and they've done a great job of not allowing Wagner to do that.
Andrea Arias had 3 goals against Marist in the regular season meeting. Just in the first quarter alone, 7 of them for the game. They've locked her up. Rachel Dean shot stopped by Senna. That is how the first quarter comes to a close. Marist 4, Wagner 2. A great start to the MAAC championship here on Marist 4, Wagner 2. As we go to the second period in Poughkeepsie, the Wagner Seahawks lost in the championship a year ago. It was Gabby Juarez and the LIU Sharks pulling off the stunning upset. It ended a run of 100 consecutive victories in the pool against MAAC opponents for the Wagner Seahawks. An overtime win for LIU. We spoke with Josh Howard before the tournament. He said, hey, from a coaching staff perspective, we never bring that up. We're talking about what we have to do to win the next game, to be the best team we can be, to play to our standard, which Wagner takes so seriously. But he says the players, they feel it, they talk about it, and you wonder if there's some extra weight on their shoulders as they try to atone for last year's loss.
Well, one thing's for certain, they're not going to give up. They know that there's 3 more quarters to play, a lot more water polo to come. They're going to be trying to get back to their game. They're going to maybe have to work the outside shots a little bit better than they did in the first quarter, because Marist has been doing a phenomenal job of taking away the center.
Yeah, they've crashed on Arias. It was Chris Vidal's game plan, but Wagner not too far away. It would certainly be foolish to expect wholesale changes. Mar Navarro with a couple of shots that rang off the bar. They've certainly had good chances, just unable to convert in the first quarter. We'll see what the second holds as Marist wins the opening sprint. Fox's passing has been crisp here in their home pool. Well, until Nagel just airmailed Liana Hunt. Shannon, that one might be on me.
Talk about the booth jinx, right?
Alonso with a wonderful pass to Nash, but maybe Nash overpassed to the crashing Og. The officials blow the whistle. Do they see a 5-meter? No. It's just an exclusion foul. It looked like Nash had a golden opportunity to challenge Sanchez, tried to get it to Og, and then Marist commits the foul. Kendall DeBeer, the player, kicked out. The officials take the ball out of the pool to get it right. They want to make sure it's DeBeer. That's who's gone up on the board now.
Just rest a little bit, rest your body, tread, visualize what your game plan is going to be on that 6-on-30.
The ball's back in the pool, and here we go. 6-on-5 for the Wagner Seahawks, trying to get back within a goal. Pip Nash swings it across to Magali Og. Down on the 4-5 side now. It's back to Og. Off to the right for Mar Navarro. Here's Nash. Passed up a scoring opportunity a moment ago. This time takes it. It's blocked in front. Red Foxes get a hand on it. It's Shanae Carrington.
Talking about those field blocks, everybody contributing. Nash really held on to that ball for a long time, which is not something you typically do on a 6-on-5 situation. You want to have nice, quick passes.
So after all that, Wagner can't convert on the power play. They commit a foul on the other end, and Marist can start their offense. They have 5 seconds remaining in this possession. Off the fingertips of Hunt, and that will just about end the trip. The ball reaches out of the pool, so it's back to the Wagner Seahawks.
So far in this second quarter, we've seen a few miscues from Marist, but Wagner just has not been able to capitalize. Let's see what they do here.
Alonso swimming around Carrington. Ball snuck inside the 2-meter line. It's kicked out to Pip Nash, 5th year from Canberra, Australia. Nash fires high. You can see the Marist strategy. They want to take away Alonso and Arias. Wagner's big guns offensively. It's leaving players like Pip Nash an awful lot of space, and Shannon, up to this point, they have not been able to make Marist pay.
The defense has definitely proven to be successful. You know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it. I can't imagine them making any adjustments just yet.
Marist commits an offensive foul in front as Kaylee Brard was looking for the pass to trigger a goal-scoring opportunity. Wagner with another chance to make it a 1-goal game again. Alonso drives into the picture. A lot of water in front of Alonso, who rips a shot. Sanchez deflects high over the bar.
What a save. They've been daring Wagner to shoot from out far all game, and it has gone for naught.
Quick restart, Grace Coleman at point. Navarro on the 4-5. A chance for Magali Og, and she powers it into the far corner.
Yeah, really great pass from Pip Nash. A little bit closer. She was at about the 4-meter shot. had a good angle, didn't even need to pump fake it, just had that visualization, and it went where it needed to go.
A confident offensive possession, and the sophomore Og comes through, her 38th goal of the year, and the first for Wagner, Shannon, from a player that isn't considered one of their big guns. Talking about Carlota Alonso, 109 goals on the year. Andrea Arias has 96. Those are the players that Marist is keying on. And Og, the first to give the Red Foxes something else to think about.
Wagner will need to have those players continue to step up if they're going to have a chance at this game. They're taking away the center. Even on the last possession, Pip Nash drove into center, and it didn't matter. The Marist drop still occurred.
Epic atmosphere in McCann Natatorium. Wagner bringing a fan bus. Chance of defense ringing out on the second deck of the pool. Marist on their home campus. Large crowd of fellow athletes, friends, and family. Watching a great championship half. Skip shot misses. That's freshman Samantha Bentley trying center. Just off the mark, and the Seahawks have a chance to tie. Great lead pass to Carlota Alonso. Alonso, never shy, ties the game.
There are a bunch of Wagner players trailing behind. She was either going to have to bring it out to the wing, slow it down a little bit, but she chose to continue to drive, had to make that quick shot. Shanae Carrington was closing in. Beautiful skip shot to the near side for the equalizer.
The counterattack, Shannon, for so many years has been Wagner's bread and butter. They're so fast, so aware.
They're so fast, and they're so good at anticipating the play and what's going to happen.
So Marist has seen their 2-goal lead evaporate. Brand new ball game, 3 minutes into the second quarter, and all of a sudden, those tape-to-tape Marist passes have started to miss the mark. They're just throwing the ball around the pool, not valuing possession, and Wagner is taking advantage.
Against a team like Wagner, you can't have turnovers. They're going to make you pay on the counter because they are so fast.
Arias inside water but couldn't hang on to the ball. It slides inside 2 meters. And it's a penalty. Couldn't get to it because Kaylee Brard held her up. It's the first exclusion foul on Brard. And now Alonso can put Wagner in front. She'll go one-on-one with Inez Sanchez. First lead for the Seahawks.
Really powerful shot. She rises up, picks her corner. Inez tries to come out super big, but the ball just skips underneath the arm.
A 3-goal run for Wagner. The undefeated regular season champions in front for the first time. Carrington, the 5th year, one of Marist's top facilitators. Expect her to see a lot of the ball. Here's Nagel, who's already scored twice. Just tried to force it to Leila McCarroll in front of goal. Alonso had it well covered. Another poor Marist possession and an exclusion in transition. It's the first on Nagel. A Wagner power play as they look to keep the pedal to the metal offensively.
And really great defense by Grace Coleman there. She took out Ella Bumgarten completely. There was no option to go into the center.
Nash over to Og. Now at point it's Coleman, and that one deflected away. I don't know if it was Brard or Sanchez that got a hand on it, but either way, Marist defense holds. They kill off the penalty. But the key, Shannon, is can they get back in sync on offense? They have not looked good with the ball here in the second quarter.
Yeah, the second quarter has been a little bit rough, and Wagner has taken advantage of every opportunity.
And again, a poor pass squanders possession.
I almost wonder on the next possession, will Coach Vidal take a time out? They seem to be rushing, pressing a little bit. They just need to get back to what they're good at.
Maglio drives. Og's got a stroke on Tori Padilla. And all Padilla can do is commit the ordinary. Arias in the middle. Power into the back of the net. A hat trick for the Wagner center as the Seahawks keep the run going.
Could not have been a more perfect pass to Arias. really rises up, uses those powerful legs to power it in. Center cage, gorgeous.
And there's the Marist timeout. That long delay clearly changing things for the Red Foxes. 4 straight goals for Wagner to begin the second quarter. Marist led by 2 after 8 minutes.
You could really feel the shift in momentum of the teams here. There's so many fans on either side. Wagner's really loud up in the fan section. And it was interesting too, you know, they are considered the home team because they are wearing the dark caps, and look at that incredibly gorgeous shot to the top corner.
Yeah, that was Magliogg's start of the 4-goal run. A little bit later, Carlota Alonso would go short side to sneak one past Sanchez. Then a 5-meter. Alonso so good at that, getting her hips out of the water, sending Sanchez the wrong way. And then just a moment ago, how about this pass from Og to Arias, who was already halfway up into the sky. And she just launched it past the Marist goalie. When Wagner is in sync, Shannon, they're really fun to watch.
They absolutely are. The counters, the passes, it was almost like they had to reset the atmosphere here. They're wearing the black cap, so they are considered the home team. It's interesting because they arrive to the pool over 2 hours before the game starts, which isn't really typical for the sport of water polo. But Coach Hauer said, we want to claim the pool like it's ours because we are the dark caps for the entire tournament. They bust in a bunch of students here. It's loud. It does feel like a championship atmosphere.
They really do come to the pool with a certain swagger. They wear black robes. They're often in all black warm-ups. Sometimes Wagner's got a goal or two on the opposition before the opening sprint. Now Marist has a power play. Pip Nash is out. Can the Red Foxes end the run? 13 seconds left in the 6-on-5. Leila McCarroll. Across the way, stopped by Senna. Good chance for Tori Padilla, but Senna had it red.
Yeah, it was a good chance. It was a great pass, great shoot and catch. Engel was a little bit off, but Senna is tremendous reading that shot.
Magliog has been great here in the first half, a sophomore who's stepped into a bigger role this season. Played some as a freshman, twice MAAC Rookie of the Week, but really relied upon to be a key player in her second season at Wagner. Og juggles and recovers. Arias at center, defended by Brard and Carrington with their arms up, able to deflect the shot, and that allows Marist to start the counter. And as Sanchez is so good at these lead passes, who can she pick out here? Player without their protective cap, that's Tori Padilla. Carrington to start the offense. Now it's Brard in the middle. Marist trying to run everything off the left side. Dean, good look for McCarroll, and McCarroll earns the exclusion. So it's a Marist power play. Second time Coleman's kicked out. Foxes go quick, and it's blocked by Navarro.
She is just everywhere. Doesn't necessarily put up the stats on the stat sheet, but she is so instrumental for plays like that.
And here comes the Seahawk counter. San Pedro Tarela to Andrea Arias. Mar Navarro's got a ton of space. Og thinking about it, shooting it, it's off the side of the net. Og didn't have the angle. Minute 24 to go in the nightmare second quarter for Marist. Shannon, they have a chance to steal a little momentum going to halftime.
Yes, what they have to do is stop the run, stop the bleeding, get one up on the scoreboard before they go into halftime.
Padilla thought there was a foul there before the shot. It's so loud in here, I didn't hear a whistle. Indeed, no foul, but it will stay with Marist. Team still 6-on-6. Shot clock's at 13. Leila McCarroll's seen a lot of time in the water. Now the exclusion whistled. It's on Carlota Alonso. Red Fox power play, first foul on Alonso. The sophomore McCarroll finds Rachel Dean. Arias swims over Dean, and now she is kicked out, so it's a 6-on-4. First on Arias, and it's nearly a must score for Marist, but McCarroll puts it right into the chest of Senna.
6 on 4, you have time. Don't take that shot. Don't press. Work it around a little bit. Get a better angle. Senna was right there in position, ready for that shot.
30 seconds left in the second quarter. It's been all Wagner in the period. Arias a passer and an offensive foul. Shot clock's off. McCarroll able to keep it away from Alonso. And she'll throw it to Shanae Carrington, who's so good at delivering lead passes. Leaves it for McCarroll. 6 seconds. It's Carrington. 3 seconds. Padilla. And that is a foul. She's got to shoot. She lobs it. And it's stopped by Senna. So all Marist could muster was a prayer at the end of the second quarter, a period that belonged to the Seahawks. They score 4 unanswered and lead it by 2 at the half here in McCann Natatorium. A tale of 2 quarters inside McCann Natatorium today. The first belongs to Marist, the second to Wagner. Add it all up. 6-4 Seahawks after 16 minutes. Marist struck first. Ella Baumgarten directing one on net. That made it 1-0 Marist, but the Seahawks would have an immediate response. Andrea Arias couldn't find the ball for a moment, then collected and hooked it over Inez Sanchez to tie the game at 1. But next trip down, Paige Nagel would power it into the back of the net for her first goal to put Marist up 2-1. But immediately Arias would answer, deflecting one in off Sanchez. It was 2-2 before the Red Foxes went on a miniature run. Started by Nagel and finished by Kaylee Brard, who would come through on a 5-meter. Now into the second quarter, it's Magali Og scoring the first of 4 in a row for the Wagner Seahawks. Carlota Alonso would add the next 2. The first short side by Sanchez, the second at the 5-meter line. One of the MAAC's top goal scorers, showing you why, skipping it into the far corner. Seahawks would add a punctuation to the end of the period when Andrea Arias notched a hat trick late in the second quarter. Beautiful pass from Magali Og. Give her the assist and give Wagner a 6-4 lead at the break. The third quarter's next here on ESPN+. A berth in the NCAA tournament on the line. This is the MAAC championship between the Wagner Seahawks and Marist Red Foxes. Wagner with a 2-goal lead at intermission. Jeff Brault and Shannon Ventry with you in McCann Natatorium. And Shannon, the first goal of the second half is critical. A 3-goal game versus a 1-goal game are dramatically different things.
They absolutely are, and it's also about stopping this Wagner run. Who will exert their dominance first?
Carlotta Alonso wins the sprint. First time Wagner has gotten the first possession of the quarter. Marist almost able to come away with the steal. Liana Hunt got a hand on it, but it stays with the Seahawks. And now Alonso tosses it to Sanchez. That's well defended by Marist. They seem to have a lot of energy on the first possession of the third quarter. And how about Sanchez spotting Hunt on the counterattack? A 3-on-3 if Marist wants to hurry. Dean calling for it on the near post. Navarro slows the ball, commits the ordinary. And now an offensive foul in front of the cage.
Oh, that's such a shame because Marist was really hustling to get down the pool. You had Nagel open on her wing. I'm going to call that her wing because she's virtually unstoppable from there.
Alonso defended by Shanae Carrington. Flipped out of the pool. It will remain Wagner ball. Magali Og. Pip Nash, and now it's Wagner's turn to commit the contra.
You saw De Beer really crashing, dropping down in that whole set, trying not to let Arias touch the ball.
Dean's pass didn't have enough on it. Casey Taylor swims over and gets the steal. Boy, Marist, who were throwing great passes in the first quarter, have really struggled since. Long swim for Casey Taylor. Alonso rips a shot. It's tipped over the bar by Sanchez.
What a great save by Sanchez. She just gets up so high, makes it look so easy.
She was a synchronized swimmer growing up. Really powerful leg beater and great instincts too. She's timed a number of those high shots beautifully here in the final. Navarro drifting in. That one's blocked by Dean.
Great field block again. Get those hands up on defense. Fundamentals one-on-one.
Sanchez, the short outlet to De Beer. Ahead to Carrington, 2 defenders there. And the ordinary foul sets up the half-court offense. There's the exclusion foul. It's on Casey Taylor, her first. Marist power play.
Seemed like she was not giving Carrington enough room to be able to complete that pass.
Marist looking for their first goal since the first quarter. They went 0 for the second stanza. At point, De Beer. Here's Nagel. Her shot right to Senna. Had it played perfectly.
She was waiting for that shot. Pip Nash was coming out, showing some hands in the face to not allow Nagel to see the entire goal and really make a good attempt.
Marist converted 4 of their first 5 shots. They're 0 for their last 7. Wagner's taken advantage. Taylor's try sails high.
And this is what the Marist defense did so well, especially in that first quarter. They dropped, crashed the whole set, and forced those shots to come from the outside.
MAAC Defensive Player of the Year Nash pressing the freshman De Beer. Here's Liana Hunt. Aria swims over. 7-second shot clock. Hunt can shoot it. She lobs it off the bar. It goes Wagner's way, and now it will return to Marist. Now, I think at first they said that Liana Hunt could not shoot that the foul. And now the officials have whistled an exclusion on Wagner. So it's going to be a Marist power play. Timeout Chris Vidal, a yellow card being shown. I think it's on Josh Hauer, who was protesting loudly with the officials on the near side of the pool. An exclusion foul on Mar Navarro. So after Liana Hunt took a shot after an ordinary foul that was right on the line of the zone from where you can shoot versus where you have to make a free throw. It hit the bar. It looked like Wagner was going to have possession as the teams were swimming the other way. An exclusion foul whistled on Mar Navarro, and then an immediate timeout by Chris Vidal. Josh Hauer did not like the decision. Had words with the official on the near side of the pool. He was shown a yellow. And now the Red Foxes drawing up a critical power play as they search for the first goal of the second half.
3.5 minutes into the second half. Not a lot of offensive action, not a lot of good shots taken. Credit to both of these defenses for forcing the shots to come from the outside. The goalies have been gobbling them up. But still, we talked about the first goal of this quarter being so instrumental, setting the tone for the rest of the game. Let's see what Marist has drawn up. Let's see if they can execute their plan, get on the board.
Should be noted how good Wagner's 6-on-5 defense has been.
They're just so quick, jumping from player to player, such great instincts, really tough leg strength to be able to jump from player to player.
See if the Foxes can solve the riddle. Carrington flips it off to Hunt. The lefty gives it back to Carrington. Now it's Paige Nagel who scores. Marist gets the first goal of the quarter, and it's a 1-goal deficit.
This is what we'll need to see from Marist for them to get back in the game like they just did. Short, crisp passes, communicate, clean catch and release, get to Nagel in her corner, allow her to rock it.
That certainly changes the tenor, as it looked like Wagner would have a chance to run away with it. Og and Dean battling near the middle of the pool. Now it's Navarro, found by Nagel. Here's Og. Had a chance, but the Marist defense collapses. Brard, the primary 2-meter defender. Dean swimming over as well. and an exclusion in transition. It's on Wagner, second on Og. Another Marist power play with a chance to tie it.
That's just frustration from that previous play. Dean was swimming stroke to stroke and came away with the steal.
Here's Nagel. Now Dean thinking about it. Right back to Nagel. This is Brard, already a goal on a 5-meter. Will Brard try from 6 meters? The skip shot deflected off the post by Senna.
And it's so interesting, when the kick out came all the way on the other end, it almost took her 20 seconds to swim to the corner. It didn't really seem like there was too much time to execute much of an offensive play.
Navarro on Dean. Nash in space. Here's San Pedro Tarela, the talented Spanish freshman. Nash. Lob shot off the mark.
Again, really great job by the defense, getting their arms up, hands up in the face of the shooter. Really makes it hard to pick a corner.
A Marist turnover. Wagner trying to take advantage and reassert a 2-goal lead. Navarro might just rise up and fire. Nope, able to spot an open Nash on the near side. Across the pool for Grace Coleman. Shot clock nearing single digits. Nash drifting left, centering up, lobbing it off the bar.
Just off the mark. Great job walking it in to try and open up that angle. She knew that Sanchez would be all over any type of really powerful shot. Tried to lob it in and was just off the mark.
Just about 6 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Foxes find Nagel on the near post. MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, Pip Nash, forces her to give it up to Kaylee Brard. Here's Shanae Carrington, 5 to fire. San Pedro Tarela guarding Carrington. Off the back foot, it's in! Carrington beats Senna, and we're tied at 6.
Wow, what a shot from nearly half tank. Got a little bit of separation. It wasn't even like the most powerful shot, but it had the gusto to make it in. And now we're sitting at an even score.
The tide has turned again. Chris Vidal's halftime adjustments paying dividends, and Marist has drawn even with their rivals from Staten Island. The 55th meeting all time between the two schools has been a gem, and there's a championship on the line. Power play for the Seahawks. Layla McCarroll out, and Mar Navarro missed the net. A great look, but Navarro's shot sailed wide. Marist with a chance to take their first lead since the opening quarter. Ball's up for grabs. Alonso and Carrington swim for it. Carrington won it, then Coleman came over to collect it. That's great transition defense by the Seahawks.
Absolutely, they don't put their tail between their legs when they get down. Continue to hustle on defense to get the ball back.
It's a 5-on-5 here. Navarro and Carrington both back in the backcourt. To the center. Arias couldn't collect it clean. Tried to draw an exclusion, didn't get the whistle. Now it's San Pedro Tarela, sprawling save by Sanchez. Danger remains. 2 players for each side in the backcourt. A 4-on-4 at the end of the third quarter. Nash, risky pass. Baumgarten defends Alonso. Exclusion foul. Marist with just 3 defenders for a moment. Carrington swims back into the fray. Alonso's skip shot hits the bar, doesn't get across the line. The iron unkind to Andrea Arias.
A game of inches, and what a unique situation when it was virtually 3-on-3. You have a little bit of a cherry picking coming down with the shot clock running down.
Careless Marist pass. Layla McCarroll commits the foul. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. Can Wagner take advantage? Alonso doubled. A broad ordinary. Alonso can shoot it. She rises up and scores. Wagner leads at the death of the third.
I saw Arias open on the other side. I'm thinking she's gonna take it, give it to her. But if your name is Carlotta Alonso, you gotta call your own number there. What a powerful shot.
And it may end up being the story of the game. A Marist mistake leading to an Alonso goal. Her 112th of the year has Wagner up by 1 going to the 4th. 8 minutes to the NCAA tournament. The MAAC's 2 winningest programs, Wagner with 10 titles, Marist with 5. Putting on a show here in the championship final. 7-6 Seahawks. Wagner led by 2 at the half. Marist scored the first 2 goals of the third quarter to tie it at 6. They held Wagner off the scoreboard for 7 minutes and 59 seconds of the period before a mid-pool turnover and a foul on Leila McCarroll gave Carlotta Alonso a chance to put it in from 12 meters away. She snuck it past Sanchez, and it's Wagner with a slim lead to the final 8.
This is what you want in a championship game. The atmosphere, the grit. I kind of peered into each of the huddles in between the quarters, and the last thing the players said to each other on both sides, 8 minutes, let's go. They're gonna be leaving it all out in the pool today. It's gonna come down to grit. It's gonna come down to who wants it more.
Alonso swims against Carrington. Who wants the 4th quarter sprint? Alonso first to the ball, and it's Wagner that has the opening possession.
You gotta love it even when the opening sprint gets aggressive. That just shows you how much is on the line right now.
Wagner turns it over. Foul on Carlotta Alonso. And here come the Red Foxes. Now we're going back the other way. A swim meet to start the 4th. So Arias will collect it in front of goal and throw it out. 5-on-5 here as Coleman and Carrington are in the backcourt. Now Carrington swimming into the fray. This is San Pedro Torrella looking for Arias at center. Got a defender on her back, and the whistle comes. A 5-meter awarded. Wagner has a chance to extend their lead 1-on-1 against Sanchez. The freshman Kendall DeBeer, that's her 2nd foul.
Arias is so elusive in that position. So great at drawing those kickouts.
Alonso's already scored a 5-meter. And she's got another. 4 goals for Carlotta Alonso. The MAAC's leading scorer has the Seahawks up 2.
Such a smooth shot. She gets up, she hits that strong side so hard. 2 for 2 on 5-meter shots.
Does Marist have a response? Brard, Dean, Baumgarten, Nagel, Hunt, and Carrington in the pool. It's Brard. This is Carrington fighting on the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year Nash. Hunt for Nagel, Marist leading scorer in this one. Pass for Baumgarten, tipped by Og. Magali Og has made play after play for the Wagner Seahawks today.
Yeah, she certainly has. She really sniffed that one out. They were trying to go cross pool to get a little dump into the center position, but her arms were all over it.
And now Wagner with a chance to tighten their grip on the championship. Alonso's skip hits the post. Not too far away. You can tell she's in the mood to score goals. That one came from distance. And Marist has a power play. Magali Og whistled for an exclusion, and that is 3 on Og. A big loss for Wagner. 3 seconds left in the power play. It's killed off. San Pedro Torrella swims in. Marist shot off the bar. Carrington draws iron. Wagner remains up 2 and can counter.
It's such a fine line when you have that 6-on-5 advantage and the foul comes so far down the pool. You have to hurry it up, but you also don't want to make any tough, quick mistakes.
Arias shot saved by Sanchez. Point blank look for Arias. Sanchez up to the task.
That was a ridiculous sweep shot. Sanchez all over it.
All right, Shannon, Marist couldn't come through on that last 6-on-5, but I think with how valuable Magali Olg has been to Wagner, the fact that she has fouled out of this game is a significant turn of events.
Yes, it absolutely has been. She has such great instincts.
How about Grace Coleman finding the far corner? Her 20th goal of the year, the senior, stepping up to put her team ahead by 3.
But with Wagner, when it seems like one player goes down, another one gets brought up and is up to the task, just like Grace Coleman, hitting that far corner to go up by 3.
Josh Howard's side showing off their depth. And it's danger time for Marist. 2+ minutes into the 4th quarter. Risky pass, Alonso swims over Hunt. See what she wants to do from distance to Dean. Tips it to goal, but Senna reaches back and claws it out.
Right idea. Dean had that great position. It was a great pass in there, and they regain the ball and have another chance.
But that chance hits the post. Have another look at a wild sequence. Wagner with an offensive foul the other way. Hunt drives it into the attacking end. Hunt's got San Pedro Tarela on her back. Hunt to her left. Navarro swims over. It's an ordinary. Hunt can shoot it if she wants. Here's Nagel, Marist leading scorer. Fouled by Taylor. Will Nagel shoot? A pass to no one in particular. Carrington thought she was held. It goes to Wagner. Timeout, Josh Howard.
Yeah, I think she was trying to get to Shanae Carrington, trying to get that inside water, trying to make something happen. Maybe not necessarily getting a shot off, maybe getting an exclusion called. They've got to really spark something here. Under 5 minutes to go. Josh Howard knows that, calls the timeout, try to settle his team a little bit, and say, hey, let's notch another one before we start trying to manage this clock.
I like this timeout for Wagner, right? Because the game has changed so much in the last 3 minutes. This was a tie game with 1 second to go in the 3rd quarter, and now Wagner all of a sudden is up by 3. We spoke at the beginning of the half about the difference between a tie game, a 1-goal game, and a 3-goal game. So this is a chance for Wagner to reset the strategy.
Yeah, certainly. A 3-goal lead is huge with 5 minutes remaining, but it's not insurmountable. Marist can easily get back into this game if they get a turnover here or a good shot block, go down and score, and then it's a 2-goal game, you know, with like 4 minutes remaining. So if I was Wagner, I would think that this possession is really important to try and put one more nail in the coffin before they start to really work the clock a little bit and try and run down time as much as they can.
Shannon, no one knows better than Josh Howard and the Wagner Seahawks that this game is not over. It is nearly an identical situation to the one Wagner was in a year ago in the championship against LIU. They had a 3-goal lead midway through the 4th quarter, and they lost it, had to go to overtime, and LIU won it in the extra session.
They had a few miscues, a few over-aggressive plays on defense that allowed some really deep shots to go in. So they're going to be looking to protect the ball and try and get 1 or 2 more scores.
Teams at even strength. Let's see what Wagner can execute out of the timeout. Taylor up top. Here's Navarro. Finds an open Andrea Arias off to the left. Grace Coleman at center. The pass finds its way to Navarro. 7 to shoot. Navarro has it stopped by Sanchez. Not a lot behind it. And an easy save for the Marist goalie.
Sanchez is so good at timing up those semi-lob type shots. She stays up for so long that she just gobbles them right up.
Paige Nagel has lost her protective cap. Marist trying to turn the tide. Here's Nagel, pressed by Navarro, an elite defender. Up top, Hunt, 2 to shoot. Hunt's got to gather and launch, but the shot clock expires.
Oh, that's so frustrating. You just want to try and get something going, take a shot when you have the ball. Even maybe if the goalie tips it, you can regain possession.
Wagner is so deep, so talented, so well schooled. They've played so much high-level water polo that to beat them, it requires nearly a perfect game, and Marist just making too many mistakes here in the second half. But now a Wagner error, and it leads to a 2-on-1. Brard for Carrington. Sinead Carrington, 1-on-1 with Senna, and Carrington scores!
So smooth. She was flying down that pool, had a purpose. Great pass from Berard, right in front, uses the momentum of her freestyle stroke to power it into that far corner.
We have seen some dramatic swings here in this championship final. And Baumgarten returning for the Red Foxes as McKaylee Hansberger swims out. 3:30 to go in the fourth quarter. A 2-goal game between the regular season champion Wagner Seahawks and the hometown Marist Red Foxes. Alonso pressed by Hunt. Navarro marked by Dean. Marist leaves the freshman San Pedro Tarela. She lines it up, and it's taken off her hand by Dean. How about that defensive play by the junior from New Zealand?
So smart, so sneaky, had no idea she was coming, and just took the ball right out of her hands like taking candy from a baby.
Brard in the middle of the pool. Hunt. Looking for Dean. It just and oh, it's out of the tank. Again, Marist turns it over with an errant pass.
You're not going to get many of these chances. You have to capitalize on as many as you can, especially now that we are inside the 3-minute mark.
Coleman takes it to the point. Navarro from distance. San Pedro Tarela. Single-digit shot clock. San Pedro Tarela lost it out of the pool. And Chris Vidal takes time out. 2:24 to go in regulation. A critical Marist possession coming up. They trail it by 2.
The last few possessions have just been swim meets, up and down and up and down. No really good decisions being made, a few errant passes. This was a great 30-second timeout just to settle the team enough to get set in their positions and just remind them, hey, we're still in this.
Brard, Dean, Padilla, Baumgarten, Carrington, and Hunt in the pool. Sinead Carrington, met by the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year. Pass to Brard on the left. Brard, back foot, tipped over the bar by Senna. How about that save from the MAAC Goalkeeper of the Year?
Her hand went over the top of the goal. Just a fantastic save.
A great chance for Brard. Just a better save by Senna. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Hunt. Padilla. That one's nowhere close. Didn't have her legs under her. And Marist cannot come through out of Chris Vidal's timeout. It's Josh Hauer's turn to pull the ball out of the pool.
Yeah,
153 to a championship.
Those shots are so hard to make when you're on your back like that. It has to be the precise amount. I believe there's a kick-out exclusion coming. This will give Wagner a chance to set up to make the lead, hopefully 3 for them.
There was indeed a frustration foul on Tori Padilla, so she's out. Wagner is setting up a 6-on-5 opportunity.
And what they're going to want to do here on this opportunity is not shoot right away. Use as much as that 20-second clock as you can, but get these good, crisp passes that, you know, I can't say enough on these 6-on-5 opportunities.
This is just about the whole game. If Wagner's able to come through here, make it a 3-goal game, especially if they can bleed some clock off like you talk about, the task for Marist is nearly insurmountable.
Yeah, it's going to take them scoring super fast on the transition to have a chance and make a stop here. That's the most important thing right now for Marist. They need to stop the ball here.
San Pedro, Tarela, Navarro, Nash, Arias, Coleman. And with the ball on the left, now Nash up top. Here's San Pedro, Tarela. Walks it in, flips it to Navarro. 5 seconds left in the power play. It's San Pedro, Tarela with a lane, but it's off the post. So Marist gets the stop, 20 seconds comes off the clock, and Berard swims it away from danger.
A few dangerous passes right in front of the goal. You had Arias really chomping at the bit to get that ball, but great job by Berard, sprinting, getting those elbows up and protecting the ball.
Arias presses Berard at half-tank. Hunt on the right, fouled by Alonso. 7 seconds in a critical Marist possession, and they give it away. Contra foul at a critical moment.
Dean was swimming her little heart out coming up. She was open on this strong side. No one saw her.
Inside a minute to go, and Wagner's trying to control the clock. Timeout, Josh Hauer. He's got 1 remaining, same as Chris Vidal. The Seahawks 55 seconds away from the NCAA tournament.
Wagner's going to try and throw it around a little bit. Time for the full court press. Try and make them throw it in a passing lane, come away with a steal, make them pass it a little too far, maybe up on the pool deck.
Marist led this game 4-2 after 8 minutes of water polo before Wagner rattled off 4 unanswered in the second stanza to take a 6-4 lead into halftime. It was Marist that got the better of Wagner early in the second half. A power play goal by Paige Nagel and Shanae Carrington's first of the game tied it at 6 to the final moments of the third quarter when a Marist turnover led to a Carlota Alonso goal, a lob shot from about 12 meters away. It gave Wagner a 1-goal lead to the fourth, and they were able to carry that momentum over to the final frame with Alonso and Coleman scoring a couple quick ones to make it 9-6 before Carrington pulled one back. Have another look at the possession and the offensive foul. You see Dean just reach over and stick a forearm into Mar Navarro, and then she gets bumped in the back. Contra foul, Wagner ball. What can they do out of the timeout? That's an ordinary. See Marist going so hard after the ball. Padilla commits the foul. She's on 2 exclusions, but inside a minute to go in the championship, you gotta empty the tank. 5-on-5. Carrington and Nash swim out of the fray. Alonso tipped in front, a Marist field block. 38 seconds left. Timeout Marist. It's Chris Vidal's final timeout, and the Red Fox's heart keeps beating.
You had Carrington and Padilla swimming as hard as they could on the transition.
We're gonna have another look at that defensive play, the Marist field block. A couple of defenders stacked up in front of Sanchez, and it was Baumgarten who got a fingertip on it.
And that's what we've seen from Marist all tournament. Yesterday they were phenomenal on defense with the field box, really in sync. And today too, they've really been doing a great job on defense, trying to get the ball away from center. But unfortunately, it's been a little bit of the miscues on offense. The overthrown passes, the turnovers, the offensive fouls, that has been the difference so far.
Marist still with a lot of work to do just because only 38 seconds remain on the clock, even though they have possession. Need to score as quickly as humanly possible and then find a way to force Wagner to give up the ball. It's easier said than done with how many sure-handed players the Seahawks have in the pool. Will we see a Marist miracle? Dean, Brard, we're now inside 30 seconds to go. Ordinary committed. Marist needs a little more urgency, Shannon.
They absolutely do.
Carrington for Baumgarten, stayed by Senna. A critical save from the sophomore from Italy. Wagner ball, shot clock off. Timeout Seahawks, they can taste it.
From coast to coast, post to post, that was the save of the tournament. Two-handed grab by Senna. That is why she is so phenomenal and the goalkeeper of the year.
All the Seahawks have to do is kill off the final 15 seconds, and they're going to the NCAA tournament. Well, they can't protect the ball. A foul. It's Carrington, and Marist gets the goal. 11 seconds left. A critical Wagner error, and all of a sudden we have a one-goal game.
Even people in the stands were saying, throw it up, make it live.
3 straight goals for Shanae Carrington. Have another look.
Wow, one on goalie, goes cross cage, gorgeous, gorgeous.
And now all Marist has to do, Shannon, is exactly that one more time. Coleman throws it across. It's Arias. 3 seconds. Arias. The final horn sounds and the standard is reset. The Seahawks will fly high to Berkeley. Wagner, champions of the MAAC in 2024.
What a game. It's exactly what you want out of a championship game. Wagner was not able to breathe a sigh of relief until that final horn sound. The emotions are just crazy. Elation on the side of the Wagner Seahawks. Disappointment, but I hope still pride on the side of Marist.
A fantastic showcase for MAAC water polo. Ends with Josh and Ashley Hauer in the pool, celebrating their first championship at a school that has claimed 11 league titles. After heartbreak a year ago, Wagner wins it in 2024.
What an incredible legacy to get back to the championship game and to make good on what they set out to do from the beginning of the season, to have a shot at the NCAA tournament.
Wagner completes the perfect conference season, 13-0 in regular season play, 2-0 in the tournament, and they've got the trophy. We'll hand out some hardware after this and hear from Josh Hauer next.